No, there's like a bunch of them like on the highest branches of the trees.
Mm-hmm.
See, they only from this view they're only seeing the car and like
Right.
nothing over
The
there. But on the
fence,
other side
yeah.
we have like all
It's very pretty.
yeah.
Do you
It's
want
like
to
we're
turn
in the
around?
wilderness.
Do you want to sit over here?
No, no, because it's gonna get dark.
Okay.
Yeah, and we have the lantern,
Yeah.
a railroad lantern.
David James is here.
Switch is open.
He says, "Way to go, Mopar for the win."
Yes.
Hello, Dickie Farley.
Dickie Farley, what's happening, man?
Q Hacks.
Jeff.
Dee's Gilliams. Fubar. Numbnuts.
Lamar.
Jerry Franks. Charles Elert. UP Tinkering.
UP Tinkering, that's a new one.
Big Frankie 078. Granny's Garage. Harley Hawk. Made Muscle. Zap
What's happening,
3.
Harley?
Bill McKiska.
Bill.
Otto 1303. Kurt Zimmerman. Eric Dren. Frank Emro. 40 Mamba.
Greetings all. Maggie, coffee?
How is everybody tonight? Terrence Seymour is here.
Terrence, what's happening, man?
So, Tony,
I
what's
got
new?
my water and I got
What you
my
got?
root beer. And
Yeah.
I really wish I had more coffee. I need more coffee.
What's up, Charlie? Where's your cup?
You can't leave now. It's already started.
I can leave. Like, I can just walk away. You can talk about your drinks.
I've
So-
already said everything there is to say about it. I have water, I have root beer,
Well,
but
what's
I
with
really
the
need
yellow
coffee.
package of tobacco? What's going on there?
They don't have. There's a shortage of the blue.
Uh-oh.
So they've got this yellow. It's the same brand, but it's like
Go ahead, talk about
It's
that.
literally
I'll get you
shredded
coffee.
cardboard.
I'll be right back, guys.
it's like whatever is too stale to package in this one, they stick in this gold, and they actually charge you more for it. It's horrible. So, see, I'm lost without her. I don't know what to do. I'm like, Cat, I'm lost. Talk about what? Talk about the root beer? It's A&W root beer. We used to get these in the frosty mugs. Back on Staten Island, my friend Eddie Gomez, his father owned an A&W. And we used to hang out there. We were like 15, 16, and we were like, bench race and stuff, the best of 15 or 16-year-olds could. And we would guzzle like these frosted mug A&W root beers. It was awesome. But, and then we did drugs. I did afterwards. Where is she? There she is. Yay!
Relax.
You got back. She goes, no, I get up tight when I don't have anybody.
Relax.
Okay.
All right. Oh, I almost fell backwards. Okay.
But I'm glad you didn't.
Hello
Thank
from
you.
Quebec. Hello, M1. All right, so what did I miss?
I don't know what you missed. I was over here talking about
Why do you have 3 drinks?
it. I would do everything in threes now. I have this OCD thing now where everything is in threes. Except I have 2 tobaccos. So, that's
What's
a problem.
up, Zero?
Zero, what's happening,
says
brother?
Corn Pop.
Corn pop.
Jolly Rancher says hello from Minnesota. Crazy Joe 671 says I so enjoy your shows.
Thank you, Crazy Joe.
Let's see. Time to make some stuffed artichokes to celebrate the win.
We're past stuffed artichoke season, really. That's like a winter thing.
Is it?
Yeah.
40 Shooter One says Tony, that lunch was awesome. Did you launch something?
Yes, we launched the car. Yeah, it was okay. It was a good hit, but it was a bad hit because if you slow it down, you'll see the car breaks traction. So it lifts the front end like that, the left front, and then it breaks traction and it goes back down again. It regains traction and goes back up again. So it's like the double wheelie. Who would have thought? So, but both cars left a lot on the table, a lot. So we've already talked about a rematch. We're probably gonna. I think. I don't know. Should I say it? I don't know.
Say it. Who cares? Do you care? You don't care.
I don't really care. We're thinking about doing a grudge race at War in the Woods, rather, which is in I think it's the end of September. So by the time both cars will be dialed in, and we can go again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you tired?
Yeah, I am
You a
tired.
little tired?
I am tired.
Yesterday was a long day.
Well, it's been a long week.
It's been a long week.
It's been a long week.
Your diet yesterday was
Donuts.
fantastic.
I told you I had to be in the right.
Yeah.
So yesterday, the only thing I consumed all day was 6 glazed donuts and coffee, and I chain
And
smoked.
cigarettes.
Because the combination of caffeine, nicotine, and sugar allows my brain to settle,
Lets you
and
focus.
I can do what I
Right.
got. It helps me focus.
Right, in lieu of medication.
That's my medication.
Right. 6 donuts. Let's see. Isaac D says, hello, Tony. Great race.
Thank you.
Peter DeSanto says, I couldn't believe how fast that Tennessee taxi was.
Wait till you see it actually sorted out. It's the car's a lot faster than you think that it is.
Dee Dee's Speed Shop's here.
Dee Speed Shop. Oh my God! They sent me a nice voice mail. Congratulations.
Oh, you have voicemail?
Well, no, I sent in a text. There was an
Oh.
audio clip.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's very nice.
It really,
I didn't hear
made
it.
my day. I'll play it for you later.
It's okay.
Yeah.
They said your daughter is proud of her winning dad.
Yes. Thank you.
Funny. Yes, Dee Dee's Speed Shop in the house. Let's see. Tony the Axe DeFeo, Zero says. Let's see.
Maggie, darling, got your coffee.
What would it run quarter mile? Well, you just said it's not sorted out.
It's not. That was the car's first full, just send it run. No. Well, no. Yeah. That was the car's first full send it run. What would it run? I do not know. But you can't. It's hard to judge by that particular track because it is uphill. That track in general is 2/10 slower than like a level track, but it's got good air. I don't know. I don't know what it would run. But the car has a lot left. Car's a lot left in it.
Let's see. Murder Nova says, not gonna lie, my jaw dropped when I saw the launch. Laugh out loud, was not expecting that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Who here is shocked the car is still running after what Tony told us before?
I'm kind of shocked at that myself. We pulled it up on a trailer. It's fine. I pulled the plugs. The plugs look good. Everything sounds good. I left the car on a trailer overnight. I was like, okay, enough of this. And then I offloaded it before, and I made just a couple of parking lot just hits just to see how everything was, if the tranny was good and everything. And yeah, it's ready to go out again. So I'm just gonna. The plan was to after this race was just to pull that motor out and put the good motor in, and I was like, no, I'm just gonna leave this one in there for now, and we'll keep sending it until it stops going.
I also have video of you pulling the plugs. I have actual footage.
The plugs look a little fat.
Yeah, we didn't put it in the video.
Yeah. I think I needed to take a little bit of fuel away from it. But again, first pass off the trailer, no warm up, no practice, no nothing.
I think it was Granny's Garage that says, how much did Bottle Rocket cost to build?
I lost track at about $3,500. It's probably in the like if you were to add up everything that's in the car right now, maybe 4,500. But I don't hold me to that.
You stopped counting, right?
I stopped counting.
Yeah.
I stopped counting.
Let's see. What was the ET mile per hour?
760. I don't know, 760 something at 91 miles an hour.
It looked like a sub 11 in the launch, Billy Bob Holcomb says.
Well, on the initial hit, yeah, but like I said, it broke traction. And you could just watch the car. The car leaves, front end comes up, goes back down, comes back up again. And if you watch the back of the car, it hazes. So it launched, and then And I know it wasn't a suspension thing. It definitely wasn't a suspension thing because it was far out enough where it broke traction that it wasn't the suspension unwinding. Like if the suspension had unwound and it broke traction, it would have been on the first foot, first 2 feet like that. But it wasn't. It was about 15 feet out, 12, 15 feet out. And then it broke traction. It dove the front end, but the motor was still putting. So as soon as it regained traction, it lifted, it wheelied again, and then settled down and went. And that's when I pulled second. When it touched down the second time is when I pulled second gear, and that's when I felt the shudder.
DD Speed Shop's asking what was up with the trans.
I don't know.
Please show
Okay,
us the time slip.
What I'm thinking possibly is it might be an adjustment on the shifter. So in order to put the car into first gear, I've got to pull it back almost a second and then nudge the shifter forward, and it's in first. So I'm thinking it's possibly just a very fine adjustment on the shifter. So I'm going to play around with that during the week. What was that question?
They want to see the time slip.
I don't. Do we have the time slip?
Yes. I have to go get it. I have to
Yeah,
get up and go get it.
Got it.
Let's see. According to Wallace Racing, calculator 1225 at 113.
That's about right. Mm-hmm. But again, see, what are you basing that on?
Yeah.
Because it wasn't a I'm going to explain it to you. In my mind, the time slip isn't valuable unless you have a run that is, I don't want to say perfect, obviously, but a run that's clean, right? Where there's no, like, obvious issues to it. And in that run, there were obvious issues. So how can you really judge? And plus, it's an uphill drag strip. So there's a lot of variables that you have to go by. And that's why until you get a car that does, let's say, the same thing 2 or 3 times, so you know you've reached a point of consistency, there's no value to a time slip. Because like any fluke thing can happen on any given run, and you can't really, or there's circumstances on any given run that you can't really judge what the thing is doing by the time slip. So after the car has had a few runs and we've got it sorted and it's repeatable, where you point it down a track and it does the same thing every time, now you've got a time slip. Now you've got a baseline that you can tune off of. And I don't have a baseline yet. Car's first run. Andy doesn't have a baseline either. That was Andy's third run on the car. So
like fourth run,
on Casper.
Like 2 at the track and 1 on the street.
Yeah. So I actually have more on the street than he does. He has 1 run on the street. I got a bunch of them. Mm-hmm. But in Mexico. But neither of the cars are sorted out, so there's really no baseline to go off of yet.
Yeah, that car didn't move, really, except for just local.
Yeah.
Parking lot.
Yeah, the street in front of the place.
Mm-hmm.
That leads to Mexico.
That leads
it's right
to
on
Mexico,
the border.
Right. Baldo509 says, thanks for the time and effort you put on these videos, boss.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Mexican Spec says, Mexico.
Mexico! Viva la Mexico!
Viva la Mexico.
Yeah. I ate Mexican today. I love that place. We have an all-you-can-eat Mexican cafe buffet. What are those cheese things?
I don't know.
Oh, they're so freaking good.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Let's see. RC Top Fueler says you launched better than any electronic launch box doodads ever could. It looked hardcore.
The actual hit itself was good. But it was immediately after the hit that the car started having problems.
Yep. Glad you got a new hat. Did you get a new hat?
Yeah, we have all the new hats are in. Yep. I won it.
You won it?
I won the new hat.
How did you win it?
It's this race.
Yeah? You won that hat?
Mm-hmm.
Zero says buy hat. Does everybody have their t-shirt that you had on yesterday? Everyone should use that t-shirt. It's not how... What was this? What's the slogan?
I don't even remember.
I don't even know
it's
either.
Just, it's
in the store. Go look. quesadilla, Frank F says.
So, I have to say something on Andy's behalf. So,
Hmm.
I know where Andy. Okay, so I know where Andy lost the race, and Andy lost the race in the staging lanes. Okay, because I sat there and I watched it happen. All right. So we sat in the staging lanes. There was a delay while the owner of the track changed out of his
It's a
pajamas.
big delay.
Yeah, he had to. He was wearing his pajamas, and he says, "No, I don't want to wear my pajamas. I'm going to go inside and change." So he went inside and changed. So we sat in the staging lanes whilst the owner got changed. So I sat in the car. I put my helmet on. I buckled up. I rolled up the window, and I just sat there and focused. You know what I mean? Just gather your thoughts and get it together. So you run through the lunch. 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 Right? As I'm doing that, I notice that there's a guy talking to Andy. Now, this seemed like a really nice guy. And Andy said, yeah, there's a really nice guy. But as I'm getting focused and I'm getting dialed into like what I'm going to do, this guy's talking to Andy. And I can see Andy's just trying to be polite. Andy's talking, is having a conversation with him. But in Andy's mind, he's saying, I got a race. You know what I mean? I got to, And this guy's just like, yep, da. I thought about maybe starting my car, making a racket to make the guy kind of stop, and then maybe walk away. And I said, no, don't do that. Just leave it be. But honestly, if I had to pick a reason why I was able to treat Andy the way I did, it was because he never had a chance to focus in. Because right up to the time that they motioned us to go, this guy was standing at the window talking to him, and Andy never really had the chance to get into the zone. So I mean, honestly, I think that's why he slept the way he did.
You obviously paid him to go talk to Andy.
Yes, of course I did.
Yeah, right.
Of course I did. No, but seriously, you can lose a race anywhere. You can lose a race at home, okay? You could just have a bad day. You could have a fight with somebody, right? And your head just isn't there, okay? There's a million ways you can lose a race that has absolutely nothing to do with what happens on the actual drag strip. And I'm telling you, point blank, Andy lost that race in the staging lanes.
What tires did you use? Those really looked like taxi cab tires.
They're drag radials. They're 10-inch drag radials.
Hello, Joe Brennan.
What's going on, Joe?
Dude mopping was wearing orange Crocs. That was so cliche.
That truck, the mop guys are just all over everything all the time. It's like no matter where you look, there's somebody with a mop. Like, it's crazy. But yeah, he walked up behind the car. It was a really nice shot too. Kathy had a really nice shot there.
Yeah.
The guy walks right up and he starts mopping up behind it. What the hell could have possibly been behind
really
the tire?
have moved anyplace else, so I was kind of stuck where I was at that point. Like, sorry for the shake in the video. That was me trying to get into position really quickly. I kept freaking out because I knew it was only a one-shot thing, and I was like, is my record button on? Is my light on? Let's see. Joe Brennan, that was a nice race, Tony. You did great. Andy would have definitely lost.
Oh, well, okay. So I don't remember what the numbers were, the reaction times and all of that. But Andy's run was 0.3 quicker than my run. So I treat him, and I guess I was 0.4 quicker on. I must have been 0.4 quicker on the tree, because his run was 0.3 quicker than mine. So they're coming up on the finish line, right? And I'm looking at the stripe, and I'm like, come on, let's go. And here's Andy, right there. And honestly, it was so close at the finish line. Like, I knew that I won, but it was like, I really wish we had somebody like literally at the finish line to get that shot, because it was like, it was like right there. We were door handle to door handle. And then I almost crashed into him at the end.
Did you? Yeah.
So that track has a fairly short shutdown. I almost crashed the car at that track once. I was driving somebody else's car, it was like a Daytona. It's another story. But we were coming down to the end, right? And we got everything, we got them slowed down, and we were about to make the turn off, and I forgot that I had the nitrous on, and I went to give it a little gas just to get around the turn, and it went whack. So I almost hit Andy's quarter.
Oh. Your helmet was inspiring. What was up with your helmet?
Which helmet was I wearing?
I don't know. Were you wearing that black one?
It was either the black one or the stars and the
I don't think
Captain
it was the
America
Stars and
one.
Stripes.
No, I don't know which one it was.
The black one.
Yeah, it was the black one. That was the one that had the slag camera, and I just.
How come you used the black one? You usually use the other one.
I just grabbed the first one.
Maybe that's why it ran so well. Don't
The
wear
black
that helmet
helmet?
anymore.
Okay.
Don't wear the Stars and Stripes. Thank you, Billy Bob. Billy Bob says I did a good job on it.
She did a great job. She did a great job. That was such an easy video to put together, because she had covered all of the bases, and then other people had filmed. My brother Ralph was filming that shot, the side shot. That was from Ralph.
Ron was filming.
Ron was filming. So yeah, we had a lot of help. We had a lot of great help, and she knew what she was doing. So it was very easy, very
I didn't
easy.
know what I was doing.
Oh yes, you did.
No,
you
I
know
didn't.
instinctively, because you do it so often.
No, I didn't.
It was an easy video to put together because everything was just linear. It's just we got there, we did this, we did this, we did this, bop, 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 and then put it back
I
together.
always worry about my position. You know, where you're gonna be.
But still, it took like 20 minutes to edit that video. It just
Yeah, no, the editing went good. I think the most stressful part was making sure I was in a good position. That's hard sometimes, because then you got people like the mop guy.
the mop guy, they're nuts with their mops at that track.
It looks like the wheel came off the ground.
Optical illusion. That doesn't happen.
Let's see. Why is that man smiling? Are you smiling?
No.
No. Ralph says, that was me celebrating at the end of the video. Yes, that was you yelling.
Yeah. How come you're not here?
Yeah.
You should be here.
So did it hang a hoop or what?
Come over. We'll be on for a while, man. Come over.
Did you have the pistons in backwards?
Yes.
Laugh out loud.
Yep. By the margin of victory, it was the Pistons turned around.
But that's only good for a couple horsepower, Tony.
That's all it took.
Right. I'm being sarcastic.
That's all it took.
Hey, Poppy. Oh, we need more launches, please. Flip your pistons, flip the world, Zero says.
Wait till I get the car sorted. I'm telling you, when I got the car sorted, that's the other thing too. Because afterwards, you look over everything. We only had about 8 inches. The tires were overinflated at 20 pounds. I needed to drop them down to around 18, but you don't know that until you make a test run.
Right.
So we only had about 8 inches of contact patch with 20 pounds of pressure in it. So the next time we go out, we're going to try 18 and see how that works.
Pony Car Resurrection says I'm putting my pistons in backwards.
Turn them around, man. Turn them around.
Frank F says nice work to both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Frank. Let's see. Larry Smith says, Uncle Tony, you're going to run slicks on Bottle Rocket in the future. Also, how's the charger?
I'm sticking with radials. I'm going to stick with drag radials. They're great. I mean, compared to slicks, jeez, I'm sticking with the radials.
Do you want to talk about what kind of shot of nitrous you used? Or no?
No, it was
that
enough.
to yourself?
It was enough, and looking at the plugs, could have gone significantly more.
JC says, to hell with pistons, I'm putting my shoes on backwards.
Put your shoes on backwards, pants on, everything goes backwards now. Everything goes backwards.
Let's see. What can you do to dial it in further?
Lots. The tuning hasn't even begun on the car. I mean, literally, it's like, you got to understand, that was legit, like, put it together and just send it
You
without
haven't taken it to the track. We took it to the
once.
track the one time,
The one time, and I launched it in second gear just
and you
to
didn't
see how
have
the converter was going to work.
enough nitrous for the whole.
Right, right.
And you ran it that one time. We got back on the trailer. We were there for like what, 20 minutes?
Not, not even.
Whatever it was. You took the car off.
Not even.
You ran it. I filmed it. We got the car back on the trailer. We went home.
Right.
We put the video up, and the car hasn't moved since.
Right.
The car has not been to the track since. Believe it or don't believe it, I really don't care.
Because we were trying to stick with the spirit of the race, which was we're going to put our cars together, and then we're just going to go to the track, take them off the trailers, and see what's going to happen. That was the spirit of the race. So there was.
I even said to you a few times, I'm like, you don't want to run that a little bit, and you're like, no.
Yep. Oh, she's been on me. She's been
I
on
was
me.
like,
She's
sure
like,
you don't
shouldn't you test that car?
Test that a little bit more. He's like, nope.
I can't. No, it's good. It's
I was
good.
like,
It's
all
good.
right.
Yeah.
I trust you.
So like the question was, what can be done to tune it or to dial it in further? Literally every single thing. The car is completely and utterly untested. Other than so now, and we don't. Give me some time. Just give me some time.
Yeah. I mean, I think it went well, right?
Yeah, the car has tons left in it.
318 Magnum wants the engine specs.
I'm debating. I see. Okay, all of the major stuff has been covered. Okay, and I'm being straight up with you. I'm being completely honest. It's a 318 block. It has aftermarket 318 pistons in it, but they're nothing special, right? They're like
318 says you've been lying. 318 Magnum says you've been lying.
No, I'm gonna tell you. I'm telling you straight up. Okay, I'm telling you straight up. It's a 318 block. It's a standard bore 318 block. It's a 273 crank. It's a steel 273 crank. It's 273 connecting rods. You know, the floating rods. They're the lighter ones. The cylinder heads are 273 heads. Okay. They're stock size valves. They're stock size intake and exhaust valves. Original valves. It has stock 340 valve springs.
You thinking?
Yeah. All of the clearances inside the engine are extra loose. Extra loose, right? And it has big ring gaps. They're all 30,000 ring gaps. But that's as much as I want to talk about that engine. Because I want to do other stuff with it.
So you're not giving away all of your secrets.
I give away 95%, and I got to keep just a little tiny bit for myself.
I agree. You did give away a lot when you were building it. Like, if anybody that was paying attention.
That's the other motor.
Okay.
That's the other motor.
All right.
Yeah.
Not this one.
No.
Okay. So I'm
This is
lying.
the Ghostbuster. I give away enough information for anybody to follow along and have really good success and have fun, okay? And then I keep a little tiny bit to myself because, you know, just because.
Yes, you have to.
Because I have to.
Typical Mopar guy keeping secrets.
No, come on. I'm not like that. You know that.
Ron says, hey, gang. What's up, Ron?
What's happening, Ron?
It's Bodyman Ron.
Oh, I thought it might have been Ron Ward.
No, it's Bodyman Ron.
Okay. He was just doing some fabrication work on his Mooney bike.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
He helped us a lot.
Ron was a great help yesterday.
Yeah, big time. Thank you, Ron. White Tea Watcher says, because you're a racer.
No, I'm a YouTuber. When I was younger, I was a racer, definitely. Mm-hmm. You know, when I was in my teens and my 20s and 30s, yeah, hardcore blood and guts. I mean, just like, and I'm just not a racer. You know, like. So let's make this clear.
And you can't cut it light.
Let's make this clear. So there's no mistakes, okay? So that nobody ever misinterprets me. I am not a drag racer. I was, okay? I am not a drag racer. I'm a YouTuber, right? This is like seriously the extent of my involvement in any sort of drag racing is YouTube. That's it. So just we're not building race cars. I don't build race cars.
No,
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 no. I don't. I just don't.
no.
Just so, like we have to make this clear so that people understand. Because I misunderstood,
You're very
misconstrued,
misunderstood.
misquoted, miss everything under the sun. So I say this point blank. I am not a drag racer.
That should be a T-shirt.
I was a drag racer, but I am no longer
Oh,
a
no.
drag racer. And even more important than that, and this is really important, I have no desire to
Nope.
ever be a drag racer.
Nope.
I would rather be a good cook.
Right.
Okay, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I would rather be able to grow beautiful tomatoes. Okay, like there's a lot of things
Hey,
that I want to
do
be.
that. That's my job. You can't steal that from me.
There's a lot of things
Don't
that I
take
want
my
to be.
tomato thunder.
And a drag racer is definitely not one of them. So understand that.
Okay, Mopars are everything says. First tuning should be with the suspension. Too loose. Slow front down. Get adjustable rears. Wait, sorry, it keeps jumping. Get adjustable rears so you can keep the tire from coming back up off the track at the initial hit.
It has a 3-way adjustable shock on the passengers, on the driver's side. The passenger side has an air shock. The purpose of the air shock is to, same exact thing as super stock springs. You use a super stock spring to preload the right rear. And you know how you can put a car with super stock springs, the right rear is 2 inches higher than the left. Well, the air shock that I have in there, I just didn't have quite enough air. If I put a little bit more air, it would have evened the car out, right? But that comes with tuning. You don't know how much air you need until you make a couple of passes. So I made that pass, and now I know it needs more air in that shock to preload the front end a little bit more. I also need to take a little bit out of that torsion bar, the left front torsion bar. I got to take maybe a turn out of that torsion bar. And that will really even the car out. Where it broke traction was after, so go back and watch the video. On the hit, the car lifts the left front, okay, and then it settles down. As it settles down, you see smoke coming from the back tire because it lost traction, but it didn't lose traction on the initial hit. So in other words, it wasn't like spring wrap or anything where the spring would wrap and then unload the tire. It was after the tire had gone several revolutions. So it had nothing to do with springs or suspension. It was just not enough grip on that tire. We also remember too, it was a cold track. We were like the third pair of cars down there. So it was, it was glued. It was like, and that's it. Nothing run into it. So it was a cold track. I had too much air in the tires. We ran it with 20 pounds. I looked at the contact patch. I've only got 8 inches of contact on the tire. So the next time out, I got to drop the tire pressure about 2 pounds, and that should even it out. You can't judge anything as far as suspension tuning, other than like the big picture stuff from the run we just made yesterday, because it's all over the map. But I see 2 changes I have to make right now to get the car to work a little bit better, and then we'll go from there.
May Muscle says, Tony, does Bottle Rocket have cowl tracks? If
No.
not, have you considered them?
No, the Bottle Rocket has a completely dead stock rear suspension. No pinion snubber. It has all of the clamps are off the back half. I've got 2 extra clamps, or maybe 1 extra, 2 extra. I don't know. There's extra clamps on the front halves, and that's it. And it's got a 3-way adjustable air shock, drag shock on the driver's side, and it's got an air shock on the right side. And that's something that I ran when I was a kid. Every car we had that, and that was a setup to tune with when you were running on these snotty streets in New York, right? Where, see, you guys don't know how bad it was back then. Like we had nothing to rate. Like it was different than today. We had shit tires. Things didn't work the same way, and that was the suspension that I developed and evolved when I was a kid for the cars that we were running back then, and it worked just fine. So I'm going to try to make it work again.
Mopar Den sent me $5.
Thank you, Mopar Den.
He says, thanks to Uncle Tony and Uncle Kathy, I have Bottle Rocket's build sheet framed on the wall.
That's right, you
His
do.
value has now gone up. Go Bottle Rocket. Congrats, Tony.
Thank you.
Zip Ties and Bias Plies sent you
Oh my God.
$2.20 Canadian.
I don't have your leg.
Hashtag leg ransom.
I don't have your leg.
What's up, Zip Ties?
How are you doing, brother?
Funny.
You know, I have your coveralls.
Yeah, the coveralls. Well, he gave them to you.
You never washed them though.
No, I didn't.
Why
They're
do
in the
you keep
garage.
smelling them?
I don't. Oh, that's weird, Tony.
I know that's weird.
Stop it. Let's see. I live in the Bronx and the roads are still trash. Laugh out loud.
Dude, we used to street race on that stuff.
Let's see. Ziptie says, haha, they have that Berta smell.
Yeah, the what?
Berta.
Berta.
Yeah, Alberta. Let's see. They smell like snow, I guess.
Yeah, smelly snow. And moose.
Snow and moose.
Yeah.
Let's see, Tony, you said you have aftermarket pistons. Was there 1mm rings involved with that?
No. No, when I say aftermarket pistons, I mean like quite literally go to like Rock Auto and order replacement pistons for a 318. And that's what I got.
Need Metal says potholes in the city. Yeah.
I might have done a couple of things to those pistons. Might have, but they're just regular.
Zip Ties and Bias Plies says, I need a pack of them cigarettes. Man, they were a treat.
Bro, can send,
Can we mail them?
I don't see why
Can we?
not.
I don't know. Are they going to open the package and be like, those cigarettes? Because they confiscated them when he went to travel
Oh yeah, Kate, how do we get you smokes, man?
back. No.
Well, I'll send them up to you tomorrow.
What was the air temperature to check?
It was about 65.
Yeah, it was kind of cold.
Yeah.
It was very windy.
It was good air. It was really good air.
Hang on, wow, it's moving really fast. Sorry.
Did I mention that I'm not a drag racer? Did I go into that? Because I want to make that clear.
Okay.
Okay.
You just made that clear. Everyone's paying attention to you not being a drag racer.
Yes.
Tell us the points gap.
17,000.
Joe T says, do you use ethanol-free gasoline in
By the
your
way-
shop squirt bottles?
No, I just use regular gas, pump gas.
Okay.
The distributor in that car is a stock 340 dual point distributor with stock 340 dual point points. It's locked out, so there's no advance or anything like that. And I have a 40-year-old Mallory condenser from a Magneto, like we used to run on the fuel cars. It's about this long, and it's mounted on the firewall, and the big yellow coil. That's the entirety of the ignition system on that car.
She says a Bias Place says, no idea, I will buy some. Them guys are dinks. Just write sewing machine parts on the packaging. That's how I get broomstick parts. Haha. Sandbaggers Anonymous.
Me, a sandbagger? Never. Come on. I have never in my life held back on anything.
Hello from Russia.
What's happening?
What's up, Russia? Let's see.
How is the drag racing in Russia? That's what I want to know. I bet you guys got some crazy stuff going on there.
Let's see. Zipsai says you held my leg back.
I sandbag your leg.
Sandbag his leg.
I've never seen it. I've never actually met you, to tell you the truth.
Oh my goodness, you're gonna send people to the channel screaming at us.
I just look at people. Just random comments. I'll put up a video about like control arm bushings. And people like, give Peg back his leg.
piece of crap. You're a garbage human being.
I never heard it as Peggy. Who the hell are you
Who's
talking about?
Peggy? Nathan says, Tony, you better race Bottle Rocket more this summer.
Yeah, they will. As I said earlier, we plan on going out fairly often this year. The next one out. Okay, so my converter for Slaghammer is done. I just have to hook up a chain and get the converter from him. And if I have time this week, I'll swap it into Slaghammer, and next Saturday we'll go out with Slaghammer. I'll probably have him do that.
Yeah. What was your budget on Bottle Rocket?
There was no budget, but total investment in the car is like, I'm going to guesstimate $4,000 to $4,500. It can be duplicated for a lot less than that. I'm including stuff that I had to replace because I broke. Like example, okay? Like I killed the 8 1/4 that was in there because I had a stick in it at the time. And it just snapped the axles like toothpicks. But if it had an automatic in it, the 8 1/4 would be fine. So I would say that if I had let me word this carefully, okay? Let me think about this carefully. If I was to come across another shell similar to Bottle Rocket for a similar price, so I paid $300 for the car because it was literally going to the scrapyard. If I didn't go buy it, the next stop was going to the scrapyard. So I paid scrap price for it. So if I could find another car like that had all of the basic parts that one came with, and add the stuff needed to make it run the way it does, I could probably duplicate the car for about $2,500. That's assuming that you can come across a lot of good deals on used parts or good used parts. So about half of what I currently have in the car is because I had to replace stuff that I broke.
Okay.
But yeah, $2,500 would duplicate that car and exactly the way it runs.
Okay, New Guy's Garage.
Yes.
That's the
Oh,
yeah,
New Guy's
the one that
Garage.
you shared, yeah.
Bro, I totally enjoyed your video, man. That was great. Thank you for that.
He says, Tony, your naysayers have invaded my comment section now. Laugh out loud. They are convinced Andy threw the race.
Oh yeah, of course. He had nothing better to do than to drive all the way to Tennessee to throw a friggin' race.
Were we talking about denial earlier? Let's see. Are the birds out? Yes, the birds are out. Oh my gosh.
What?
Oh my gosh.
What?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, what?
I got a Charlie horse.
Oh no.
Give me a second.
In what part of your body?
My leg.
Your leg?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's pause while Uncle Kathy unwinds her Charlie horse. So is it New Guy's Garage? Is that the name of the guy? Can you communicate? Yes. Okay. New Guy's Garage. So the thing that you were talking about there, go back and watch the video you showed in slow motion. Because what happens, the car lifts, right? And then it breaks traction. And when it breaks traction, the front end comes down. And then when it regains traction, it wheelies again. So it was like a double wheelie. That's what that was about. It broke traction.
Oh, okay. Those suck. They come on out of the blue.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry guys. Let's see. Get me a banana? Yeah, I can get a banana. Shake it off. Yes, I will shake it off. Let's see. Bulldog Garage sent you $5.
Thank you, Bulldog.
Put some exhaust on the Bottle Rocket and go have fun on the streets and mess with guys. Laugh out loud.
I could just take it to any local track and do the same thing. I don't have to go put it on the street.
Charlie Phillips says, Tony, you said you're using 273 heads. I assume they
Yes.
have the adjustable rockers. Are the
They're
valves stock 273?
Yes, the valves are stock 273. The rockers are cheap Chinese rollers.
The biggest junk you could
The,
find.
yeah, they are literally they're they're like they're not even the good cheap Chinese rollers. They're
The
like
bad
the
ones.
Chinese rollers. And I can get away with them because for two reasons. There's two reasons I can get away with those, right? That's the fact that the car uses stock 340 valve springs. So everything is designed around torque on that engine, okay? It's all torque, no RPM, no consideration taken for RPM. So it has lightweight springs, it has light valves, light springs, and not a lot of RPM. So because of that, I can get away with like really shit parts in the valve train.
Okay.
Yeah.
Zero is saying, hope my leg gets better and not invalid again.
But she's been invalid so often, it's
I
not
hurt
funny. I got to
myself
keep
all the
the
time.
Kathy invalidity scorecard.
Well, I'm kind of like active. I'm a little active. So, okay. That's what happens when you hit 29? I think so.
The second time, it's really hard.
I know. Drink pickled juice. I don't have
I've
any
heard
of
about that.
Yeah?
Yes.
Does that help? I
Something
usually
about
don't
pickle
get it at
juice.
this time. It's weird to get it right now. Zero says, Kathy, haha, love you. Thank you, Zero. Love you too. Pickle juice is good for cramps. Huh, I'll keep that in the house. Did you keep the poor guy's quarter even though it wasn't pre-1964 currency?
Yeah, well, it's not
Constitutional
real.
money.
It's a confiscation, is what it is. I confiscated the bogus currency.
Is that what you did?
Yes. I did America a favor.
You did? Okay.
Yes, I took another piece of bogus metal money out of circulation.
What are you gonna do with it?
Throw it
Are
away.
you gonna destroy it?
Yes.
Okay. Oh. Let's see. Tony, with your 5K, you should buy Kathy's GTX. Her quality has doubled, and no raise.
She doesn't want a GTX.
I don't want it anymore.
And it's already spoken for. The
Yeah.
money has already been allocated, and I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah, we're not
Okay.
discussing that.
Yeah.
A national treasure, 672 E Galaxy.
Thank you, brother.
What was the shift RPM?
I have a tack on the car.
You have a tag?
Yeah. I shift when it feels good.
Okay. Should I get Maggie in the house? She's barking.
Yeah, Maggie.
Let me get Maggie in. Quick question, Benjamin CUT. So is Bottle Rocket engine similar to Mission Impossible but with the 4-barrel and nitrous?
No.
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 Okay. Let me get Maggie.
Yeah.
Talk about your drinks. You have multiple drinks.
I talked about the drinks the last time you went away.
Good girl.
Oh, she's such a good girl. Good girl, Maggie. All right, she's in. Where you going? You left me alone here. I don't know what to do. Hurry. Okay.
Goodness. Oh, okay. I'm back. All right. Shift RPM was just about brap.
Okay. I shift it when I think it's about to stop pulling. How's that sound? It's just instinct. Who the hell actually looks at a friggin' tack? I mean,
I don't know. Did you pay for dinner? Yeah, you
Yes,
paid for dinner.
of course I did.
Yeah. What's your running temp?
I don't really have a temperature gauge in the car either.
Nobody knows.
it has the stock gauge, and like when I see that it goes above a certain point, I throw the fan on. I mean, like really, that's.
In the movies, them guys always be watching the tack. Just saying, Zero says.
Yeah.
How tall were the slicks?
They're how tall are those? Those 28s or 29s?
I have no idea.
I think they're 28s.
I don't know.
I think they're 28s.
Yeah. Let's see. Tony, I have a question.
Yes.
What car did the rare 2.47 ratio gears in the 7 1/4 come in? I can't seem to figure it out, and I'm tired of looking at random Mopars in junkyards.
Okay, what was it he's looking for?
What car did the rare 2.47 ratio gears in the 7 1/4 come in?
2.47. I don't know, man. 221s were in like diplomats and LeBarons and stuff. You'll find all of those in like the FMJ body cars. 247s. I'm not familiar with that ratio, to be honest with you.
You guys garage. You guys garage.
You guys garage, yeah.
Yeah. Says, hey, I'm good with the naysayers. Helps my algorithm. Laugh out loud.
Oh, bro.
And
listen.
why didn't I put that together about the traction letting the front down?
Because you're the new guy. See, and I'm the old guy, right? So the old guy has to tell the new guy what he's looking at. Yeah. Then listen. There's a tribe. Okay, dude. There's a tribe of trolls. Okay. Listen. You can't make this stuff up. Okay. There's about 20 of them, and they use like 50 different names.
Well, if we go and we look and check to see how many thumbs down there are on this video, which is, I think the last I looked, it was like 16 is like the number.
Yeah.
Like, that's really the number of people that are hardcore.
So there's a tribe of them. There's Mr. Swinger. There's Darth Hemi.
Yeah.
There's U Direction. There's
what was that? Pooh somebody?
I don't know, but they're always
Yeah.
making up new names, and they're all circulating around this channel. This guy Brian, right? And this guy's a piece of work. He literally makes a video about me like every day, at least one. Okay, this is hard to wrap your head around. Okay, this guy, he sits in his mom's basement or whatever place that he's at, right? And he's got like spiders tattooed like on his hands. Okay.
Shouldn't even talk about him, really. Like, we have multiple trolls. He's really not the only one.
No, but he's like the focusing point among these guys. So this guy's like from another planet entirely. He makes at least
I
one,
wonder how he
sometimes
feels today.
What?
I wonder how he's feeling today.
He makes at least one, sometimes two, even 3 videos a day, every day. But even if I don't
Good
make
for
a
him.
video, he makes videos about me every day. He's
Yeah,
like,
forget about these fools. Let's talk about something else. This is where your hero gets sucker punched. What? Let's see.
this guy.
Are you going? Are you
this-
going?
This
No.
guy Brian has this like
Don't
this.
worry about
He
it.
has this make-up life. He says he's an 81 patch holder. All right.
Let's not even.
Don't try to wrap your head around that.
Let's not even go there. Okay. Let's not even go there.
Could you imagine somebody actually saying?
Yeah. Don't even go there. Let's see. Mitten made muscle crying. No, I'm not even reading it. Let's see. He sounds like some kind of unhealthy infatuation. A little bit.
Dude, it's sick. At least 2 or 3 videos every single day he makes about me.
Okay. Bulldog Garage Apparel sent you $5.
Thank you.
74 440, mainly stock, oversized cam, car used for Fun Street.
Wait, say that again now?
Okay. It's hard for me to read sometimes because it's jumping.
Okay.
74 440, mainly stock, oversized cam, car used for Fun Street. What size CFM carb? Thanks.
Oh, God. You need something in the 850 range to make that happy.
Unity Motorsports is here.
Andy, what's happening, brother?
What's up, Andy?
Andy, I got to say it publicly. I said it to him privately. I got to say it publicly. Andy, thank you so much for yesterday. It was fun. You covered a lot of ground. Thank you. You gave me a great race.
Let's see. Everybody's saying hi to Andy. Congrats to Andy. Let's see. Andy, ask for your quarterback. Hello, Andy. You should have thanked him for throwing the race.
Thank you
Would
for
have
throwing the
set
race,
the
Andy.
trolls on fire.
Andy, thank you so much for throwing the race and letting me win. That was so awesome of you. People are just crazy.
Yeah, it was a fake race, Tony. Don't you know? Denial. They're in denial. It's
Yeah.
okay. How about a series of lawnmower racing?
Mini bikes. We're getting into mini
Mini-bikes.
bikes.
Unity says, I didn't throw the race. I swear to that.
No, you obviously threw the race. No, as I explained to people, neither car was operating to its fullest potential.
Right.
We'll both get out now. We'll both get the things tested and tuned and dialed in, and we'll have a rematch. We'll meet again, potentially at War in the Woods, and at the end of the season, and we'll try it again.
Hmm. Captain Desmo says, I love this stuff. Denial. That's that river in Egypt. Yes, Peter Kovacs.
What were you joking around before about?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Denial, not
is
just a river
right.
in Egypt.
Because some people are having a hard time. Just a couple. Just a couple. Like, everybody is, like, very supportive, you know, and, like, the comments have been great on the video, and we really appreciate that. But, like, there were, like, a couple people that are just complete denial.
But the thing about that car is, from the very, very beginning, you could see the potential that was there. You know, it just, if you've
They
got
don't want to hear it.
if you've got an educated set of eyes, if you
They're
understand
not
what you're looking
educated.
at,
They don't care.
from the very first time that car went around the block, you could see and hear the potential that it had.
Through your eyes, not through a lot of people's. So I just think it's funny. Like, even when it's actually happening, they're like, no.
The only thing I could say to anybody like who's doubting this car, wait, because that was just really the car's first true test run. Okay, let me dial it in. Let me get it tuned up. Let me get it dialed in. Find out what it likes, what tire pressure it likes, what suspension settings like, what timing it likes, how much
And
nitrous
then you
it likes.
build the good motor for it.
Yeah, and then
This
we'll
is
put an
the
engine that
junk
actually
one.
has cylinder heads on it, right? So give me a little time to break the car in and learn about it, and it'll tell me what it wants. I'll give it what it wants.
They don't want to give you anything.
15 or 20 runs down the road, you'll see the car's true potential.
Let's see. Ford LTD 1976 sent you $5.
Thank you.
After the race, when he told you he almost had you, did you say you never had me? You never had your truck Fast and Furious reference? Did you say that? You never had me?
You never had me. You never had. If the track was 10 feet longer, he was going past me. I'm coming up. There's the stripe. We're coming up on the stripe. Here's Andy right there. Okay. And I'm telling you, like, I knew I won because I could see, right, that angle that was there. But, I mean, he was coming on strong. If the track was 10 feet longer, he would have won.
Dee Dee Speech Up says, foot race, double or nothing, title sponsor will be Dee Dee Speech Up.
Let's do it.
Let's see. Looks like you might have crossed the center line, Tony.
Oh, Jesus.
Right. Some people, like, they'll look for anything. Anything. It's fine. Let's see.
But if you look at the video, you'll see after the car runs, it black tracks in that direction, like as if it was going for the other lane.
Mm-hmm.
But you could see where the car black tracks, and I believe it's the left footprint is more pronounced than the right.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was spinning the tires.
Why is Bottle Rocket so slow?
I don't know. It must be. What is it? Because I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
That's
stupidity, lack of knowledge.
It's because I don't know what I'm doing.
Right. Okay. Will you add more nitrous?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. According
Yeah,
to the
a lot more to go,
plugs, according to the plugs, I could have gone way more.
Mm-hmm. And I have video of the plugs if anybody wants to
Yeah,
debate that too.
yeah. According to the plugs, it could have gone way more.
Let's see. You're losing a few tenths in body twists. Laugh out loud.
The body isn't twisting. The suspension is twisting. The body isn't twisting.
What happened to the inside camera? That was my fault. I turned it on, but then Tony was sitting in the staging lanes for a long time.
And it ran out and shut
And
itself off.
no, the problem was you weren't going to hit the button. You were like, you hit the record button, and I completely forgot to hit the record button.
Okay.
Yeah, because I put it on, but you were there for a long time, and then I was worried that the bottle was getting cold.
No, but wait, isn't it that we were trying to hide something?
Yeah.
And that's why we didn't show.
Well, it was a fake race.
It was a fake race.
Yeah.
But if we didn't turn the in-car camera on because we were trying to hide something, obviously.
You would have seen that Tony wasn't actually driving.
Right. You would have seen that it was Steve McQueen driving the car.
For those that don't know, we have trolls. Steve
McQueen drove the car. He was wearing an Uncle Tony mask.
Yep. Good night, my project cars.
This is the world we live in.
Tony wasn't really driving. Yep. Elvis was driving. I want to make a video about the naysayers' comments. If you're cool with that, could be funny.
Oh,
You guys
please
garage.
do it.
Yeah, go for it.
Do it.
I save them, actually. I take screenshots of them, and I have quite a collection. Even ones from Facebook, too. See, they're listening now. And they're people that I know, which is like really crazy. They're people that are friends to me, and then they'll go and they'll talk all this crazy stuff. But I have them screenshotted, just in case we ever want to make a mean comment video. But you can go for it. Definitely do it.
I would love for any of them to come on and do a live with us.
They won't.
Brian, I know you're watching. You watch everything I do over and over and over and over and over again. Brian, come on and do a live with me.
Tony channeled his inner Steve McQueen.
No, that was actually Steve McQueen.
There was actually a 426 Hemi and Bottle Rocket. Right, I filmed it, and then we did a motor swap. Right, and we didn't show that.
Right. No, well, actually, the 318 was CGI.
Right.
It was a CGI 318. Right.
I'm really good with editing.
Right.
Okay.
We never actually put that 426 Hemi in Andy's car. We waited until Andy wasn't looking. We put a 318. We put a 318 in that car and told him don't open the hood for a couple of months.
Right.
And then we put that Hemi in Bottle Rocket and then CGI'd the 318 in there. So you would look and say, oh, it's a 318.
But a 318 would never run a 427. Ever. In the history of anything. I'm sorry, a 429. Yeah. Would never. Right?
Oh, yeah. There was a couple of comments like that, right? Idiots.
Oh, let's see. We have to have fun with this stuff.
If you don't have fun with it, it'll drive you crazy.
Let's see. Hiding? No. Let's see. Zero says 318. Grandma V8, seriously. Am I okay? Yes, I'm okay. I feel better now. It went away. Andy, you need to watch Tony's torque converter. Wait, it's jumping so much. Torque converter episode. Laugh out loud.
Andy knows he knows more than enough about torque converters. If I had serious torque converter questions, I would be asking Andy. So yeah, don't.
Let's see.
You got all these experts. Kathy and I were talking about this before. I did a torque converter video like last week, right? So, in the comments, there were like, I don't know, like half a dozen people that were like, a nitrous converter has this. You're wrong about this. You're wrong about that. You're wrong. You're wrong.
It's always going to be, no matter what.
But what they don't realize, see, with a lot of these people, like the quote, the naysayers don't realize is that if you read through the comments and you know who's commenting, okay? Because in that video, one of the comments was a guy named Mike Iben, who literally builds racing converters. That's his business, is to build racing converters. If I had made any glaring errors in that video, somebody who actually builds racing converters would say, hey, That's not how it is. So just, baby, she wants to go in.
Okay. I got it. Go ahead, Bob. It's okay, Tony. Oh, what are you doing to her? Don't do that to her. Let her in. Why'd you do that to her?
I don't know.
Okay. Don't worry about complainers. There's
I know,
always
I
going to
know.
be complainers.
I get a kick out of it all.
But you know, I was cleaning out the inside of the truck, right? I painted the door panels. They're charcoal now. They
Very
actually
nice.
look very nice.
Yes.
But I was looking, and around the windows, I was like, I could make that sparkle.
Glitter.
Glitter.
I'm down with it.
We can do it.
I'm down with it.
Or DD Speed Shop.
DD Speed Shop, definitely.
What color glitter you want? Red. We should do red.
Let
because
Danny pick
we're
the
gonna-
color
No,
of-
well, we're gonna do the seat red, and I'm gonna paint the dash red
Okay.
and black. It's gonna be red, black, and white. So probably we could do red glitter around the
I'm down
frame
with it.
of the door.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We're gonna do that,
Glitter.
and we're
I'm
gonna
all
film
about
it.
the glitter.
Let's see. So how much nitro are you running through Bottle Rocket?
0. All it's pump gas.
Will Parser Everything says not every naysayer is wrong. Actually, it's quite the opposite. Usually the chatty ones are the most ignorant. Oh.
I'm not saying all naysayers are wrong. And when somebody makes, if I do make an error in a video, and in the comments, there's somebody who says, no, you're wrong about this, and they explain why, and then I look into it, and they're right, I always pin that comment. And I'll say, hey, you're right, I didn't realize that, or I forgot about that, or I overlooked that. I make a habit of that. I don't claim to know everything. I know a lot. I mean, that's why I do YouTube, because I know that I know a lot, but I don't know everything. I don't pretend to know everything. When a naysayer gets in there and they have an actual thing, no, you missed this, or you forgot about this, or whatever it happens to be, I acknowledge it. And if it's really glaring, I pin it. So that this way people know, okay, if I'm going to go through the comments, if I care enough about this video to look at the comments, I'll see this comment and it'll explain where I made a mistake. And I'm cool with that. I have never had a problem with people pointing out that I make a mistake. It's the troll ones.
The targeted personal comments, that's not cool.
Exactly.
And saying that like the race is fake, that's not cool.
Yeah.
That's just bullshit.
There's a huge difference between somebody, let's say, and I'll just use this as an example. There's a big difference between somebody like you get in there and you say, your suspension is jacked up. You're not doing the right thing with the suspension. I'll take that into consideration, and it's a valid opinion, okay? But then there's, you're stupid, and you don't know what you're doing because you're all on meth, or whatever it is, because you're going to see some of these comments, right?
I did just cuss. Yes, Danny Boyd, I cussed.
So there's a big difference between just a naysayer and a troll. And I have no problem with naysayers. I welcome other opinions. I welcome additional facts, because listen, you never stop learning.
If they make a point about something specific that was overlooked, that's
absolutely
fine. That's
absolutely.
a good
If you could teach me
criticism.
something, do it. You know what I mean? It's hard to teach me because I've been down a lot of
Personal
roads.
attacks are not.
But there's a big difference between
criticism.
disagreeing and making an attack.
Right.
Big difference. You stupid.
Yeah.
You smell bad.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. I think that lantern on the table has a nitrous button on it. Tony's not a racer.
I'm not.
He's made that clear.
I am. Yeah, I'll make the disclaimer again. I am not a drag racer. At one point in my life, I was as serious about it as I was serious as a train wreck. It was my universe. All I cared about. That was it. I am not a drag racer. I don't want to be a drag racer ever in my life. If I had to pick, let's say, the top 10 things I want to be in my life, drag racer wouldn't
But
even.
you did think about doing the no prep.
Yeah, but not in a serious competitive way. Like,
Yeah.
because people don't understand. The people who don't do it, who aren't involved in racing don't understand what it takes to go racing. They only see what the obvious part of it is. The obvious part of it is you're at the track, you pull to the starting line, you go down the track, and that's it. Okay, so to
Yeah, how much did you work on Bottle Rocket this week? How much work did you do?
you know how many times I went over that car,
Yeah.
bumper to bumper? Like I went over everything, and then I says, "Well, let me go over and everything again." And you know what? Let me triple check everything I did. So people don't
Hi,
understand.
Dr. Art.
People don't. Hey, Dr. Art. I just met Dr. Art yesterday. He's a great guy. I
Very
haven't
nice.
seen. I haven't really seen much of his channel, but it's Dr. Art's Hot Rod
Hot Rod Rehab.
Rehab, right? Oh, yeah, he was with Andy yesterday. He was there to make
Making
sure
sure
that
nobody
I
was
wasn't
cheating.
cheating. So people don't understand what it is to be a drag racer. Being a drag racer has literally nothing to do with getting a car from point A to point B. Being a drag racer is about preparation. Okay, if you're a serious racer, and when I say serious racer, I mean that you're dedicated to go out and race. So you go, I am going to race. When you take on that mindset, it has to become tunnel vision. Okay, there can be nothing else. Nothing else. The amount of time that you spend in the shop and in the car and on the car and running around and loading and unloading and making sure that every single T is dotted, every single or T is every single I is dotted. It's a huge commitment of time. To be a racer means that you're going to spend 50, 60, 70 hours a week preparing and thinking and making arrangements and doing all of the things that have to do with getting the car to the track and then making sure it all goes smoothly. Okay? I was that person once. Okay?
Just a list of everything that you have to pack, everything that you have to do,
The
everything that you
loading
have
and the
to check
unloading
off.
and the preparation and the checking and the inspections and everything else. I did that. I did that for years. Okay? Never again, ever, ever, ever. Like I said, if I had to pick the top 10 things that I want to be in my life, drag racer wouldn't make the top 100 because I literally don't want to do it anymore. I'm burned out of it. I no interest in it. But I know a lot and I can have fun with stuff like the kind of cars that we're dealing with, doing it kind of the way that we do it. And that's as far as I want to go. So I am not a drag racer. I do not pretend to be a drag racer. I have no desire to ever be a drag racer. Make that clear. I did that in my past. I don't do that anymore.
Danny Boyd says, I think Junior Johnson is who originally said that.
Said what?
I don't know. They want to be a drag racer. I don't know. Way to go, Team UTG, Wayne Buzzle says.
Thank you. And
Um, Tumbleweed TX. Dude, I can't believe Bottle Rocket beat Casper thanks to you treating him.
it was a fun race. I got to tell you, it was fun. It was a blast.
Tony, so now that you're a drag racer, now what? Zero.
Zero. I am not a drag racer. I'm a YouTuber. I do YouTube.
Uh, see. Can you guys see me? Yeah, of course, Thumper. We can see you. There's just a lot of comments.
I enjoy the science of drag racing. When I was a kid, that was what attracted me to it to begin with. When I was I don't know 7, 8, 9 years old, and you look at like all the different types of racing, all the types of things, right? I was drag racing had this appeal to me because
Is that flame too high?
oh yeah, that flame's too high. I got to turn that on nitrous.
Whoa.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Someone says a lamp is rolling coal.
The appeal to me about drag racing when I was a child, a small kid, was that the cars were so different, and it seemed so complex, right? That it was like so you watch cars go around a track, and it's like well yeah, but they just keep going around the track. But in drag racing, everything was so. I liked the fact that the cars didn't even start themselves. It took like 3 people to start the car. I was like, that's interesting. You know what I mean? That's special. There's a science. There's a reason why it takes 3 people to start this car, and that was like the draw, that got me into it. And I'm still that same way today. Like I have no interest in actually racing, but I love the science of racing, the technology of racing, and I'm always reading, I'm always learning, I do it all the time. It's just my thing. It's just I do it naturally. So while I I don't enjoy actually racing anymore, I really do love the science of it.
Scott Kuhn sent you $5. He
Thank you,
says,
Scott.
when one resorts to insults in an argument, they are admitting they have no valid facts to argue.
That's very true.
They never do.
Are you listening, trolls?
Yeah, they never. Of course, they're listening.
No, they
They
are.
have no life. Okay. Can you talk about combustion chambers, squish band, and timing one day?
We've done that.
Have
Oh,
you done that?
Jesus. We've done that probably in 20 different videos at one time or another, at one point or another. I think we did one, I think it might have been like last summer, where I was talking about combustion chambers and the overlap cycle. And I think we got into quench on that also. But I've already done those videos, man. They're out there.
Frank F says tobacco, coffee, and donuts help a fella's reaction time.
Yes.
Okay. Jeff says Tony is the best drag racer on YouTube.
Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. Okay, what they just said.
Yeah.
It's the exact thing that I mean.
Right.
If you consider yourself to be a drag racer, it goes right down to your diet. Okay.
Yeah.
Because now I know, because I've done this in the past. I know, don't eat a meal.
Right.
Okay. What I need is sugar, caffeine, and nicotine to settle my mind, so that I can focus and react the way I have to
Yeah,
react.
you ate a half a dozen glazed
Right.
donuts in
If-
the car on the way there.
Exactly. And I said specifically, I
Right.
says, we got to stop and get donuts on the way to the track. So I got half a dozen glazed donuts, and I got a large coffee, extra sugar in there, and that was it. It was the only thing I consumed all day. And I did it close enough to the time that we got there.
Yeah, we were almost at the track.
Right.
It was like the last exit before the track.
Right. When it came time to race, I was sharp. Okay. Now, if I had stopped and, let's say, eaten a big sandwich or something, or we had a regular meal or whatever it was, and I didn't have enough sugar and caffeine in my body, I wouldn't have been able to focus, and I wouldn't have cut the kind of light that I did. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, if you're going to be a drag racer, a real drag racer, you have to know those things. You have to know those things about yourself, and you have to actually, like this is your religion. Like this is your religion. You have to focus in on everything else. And my friend Neil Van Opie made a comment on that video, and he was like, what did he say? He said, Sam Biondo, Butchie DiLorenzo, and Jim Harrington, which were three guys that when I was growing up, when I was coming up, I really looked up to. Sam Biondo was the guy who invented the practice tree. Like, literally invented the practice tree that everybody knows today. Sam Biondo was the guy who invented it, and him and Butchie DiLorenzo, they were selling them, right? And Jim Harrington was the driver's driver. Jim Harrington, he died young. He died, he was probably about 40 years old. Not even. I don't even think he was 40. Jimmy Harrington was amazing. Jimmy Harrington would go to a track, okay? Englishtown was his home track. He would go to track and drive like 6 different cars that day, okay? He had a dragster, he had a super gas car, he had another one, and then he would drive cars for other people. So you would go to the track on, let's say, a Sunday or a Wednesday, whatever it was, and you would see Jim just zigzagging through the staging lanes, getting into a car, making a run, coming back, getting into another car, make a run,
Those are
coming
drag
back.
racers.
These were true blood and guts drag racers, and these are the guys that I learned from. You know what I mean? These were my inspirations when I was growing up.
So let's talk about this real quick.
Sure.
Mexican Spec says there were no sponsors on your car. You missed a huge opportunity.
I don't know. I don't want to put lettering on the car.
Right. You wouldn't have any sponsors even if they offered.
Not on that car. I don't
Right.
want to put any lettering on that car. I wanted to. I like that car the way it is. I like the way it looks. And you could offer me $1 million for a sponsorship, and I don't want to put those letters on the car.
Okay, Jonathan Couchy sent you $10.
Thank you, John.
Hello, Tony. What are your thoughts on the Hughes Whiplash cam for the 340 360? Have one in a 360. Have the clearance. And I'm going to install 1.6. Sorry, it's jumping on me.
1.6 rockers.
Yeah, it is still low compression 8.5.
You will enjoy the hell out of that cam. I had one in. Oh God, what did I have? I had 2 of them. I had one of them in a 318. I had one in a 273, and I loved those cams. I love those cams. it's there's nothing really crazy about it. All it is it's a tight LSA cam. It's like a 108 LSA cam, and it goes in like 7 degrees up. Okay, and but the, you will love it. You'll love it. It does exactly what you want it to do. When I first came out, I thought it was like, oh, that's just the silliest freaking thing. It's just a gimmick cam, right? And I paid no attention to it. And then I ended up getting one for free. A friend of mine just had one, and I threw it in an engine, and it was like, oh Jesus, this thing works. So yeah, you're gonna love it.
See, Roma says Neil is Stickman. Yeah,
Yeah, Neil the Stickman.
on YouTube. Tony, the board of directors want you to cut your hair and shave your beard.
Yeah, ain't gonna happen.
Am I blocked? No, you're not blocked. Oh, MLG 1969. No, you're not blocked. Oh, you said you tried to send a super chat? I don't know. Sometimes people are saying if they're too long, they won't go through. Like if you type too much.
Sponsorships, right? Or
You're not blocked.
Or wearing logos. So, okay, I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it, and she doesn't know what I'm gonna say, right? So let Kathy do this.
Wait, what is it? What?
Sponsorships.
Yeah. Okay. What about
Okay,
it?
back in the day when I was doing a nitro thing,
Yeah.
what wouldn't I do?
You wouldn't put on a T-shirt with a logo from a sponsor.
Right.
You
Okay.
wouldn't put on a shirt. Because that was the thing at the time. Everybody was starting to wear corporate shirts.
Right. And what did I refuse to do?
You said, I'm just wearing a T-shirt. I'm not wearing that shirt.
Right. So I bounced.
And you could have actually raced with a lot of people, but you refused to wear that shirt.
I refused to wear any sort of corporate logos on my.
You could have had a lot of jobs.
Right. So, like this isn't new. This was when I was in my 20s and 30s. I refused to wear a uniform
You were in
shirt.
your 20s. We were still at the apartment on not Keaton, in Huguenot.
Yeah.
Colin Johnson sent you 11 Canadian.
Thank you, Colin.
Tony, I'm curious, what's the most radical engine you've had in a streetcar? How did you deal with the low vacuum at idle? And boy, this is jumping like crazy. Sorry. And did you struggle with running rich / fouling plugs?
Honestly, there have been so many engines, not just mine, but ones that I've built and set up for people over the decades. I couldn't even answer that, bro. How do I deal with low vacuum? I've never dealt with low vacuum. If the engine isn't making it, well, okay, power brakes, in my mind, power brakes don't belong on a race car, period, the end. So, like, that's something that I never had to deal with. I know that if I'm building an engine for performance, it's got a cam in it, right? Real performance. Automatically, the power brake booster gets taken out and discarded, and you run the manual brakes. So I've never had to deal with that, and I don't know why anybody would deal with that, but some people do, and so they have vacuum pumps and actuators and all kinds of other crazy shit, and I never dealt with any of that.
Okay, Daryl Cannon says, either way, I really like you and Casper. You're all good people.
Thank you. Andy is the best.
Andy's awesome.
Is really good people. And his family, we've met his kids, they're really nice.
Really
Everybody's
sweet.
really nice. Good people.
Let's see. What's up, Barrows?
Barrows is happening, man.
Deep Junk Garage says, I refuse to wear a corporate logo, so my boss fired me.
There were jobs that I was good at what I did, and so I got a lot of work. In the, let's say, in the 90s, when I was really doing a nitro thing like crazy.
This was in the 80s still.
Yeah, but in the 90s when I
But
was.
that's when they really started to wear like the button shirts with the logo instead of the t-shirts. They were going from like everybody was wearing t-shirts,
Right.
and then they started wearing those button mechanic shirts with
Right.
the logos on them. And
Right.
you're like, I'm not doing that.
I'm not doing
Because
that.
you would wear like t-shirts with like logos of the car, but not like logos of
Okay,
corporations.
my rule of thumb was I will not wear anything at the drag strip that I wouldn't wear. Just
I have one of your t-shirts that you used to wear all the time.
do you?
Yeah, it's covered with oil. I have the Jungle Gym shirt, the one with all the holes in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's in a drawer. It's got tons of holes in it. It's got huge oil stains.
My rule my general rule is I refuse, and to this day and into the future, I will not wear anything at a drag strip that I wouldn't wear just walking in, just wake up in the morning, throw on your clothes and go to work. So that I lost out on a lot of money like that. I didn't care.
Jonathan Couchy sent you $5.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tony. 540 lift intake and 550 exhaust of the valve is what it will have. Fully ported intake and heads ported with 1.88 valves. Headers tuned carb.
Okay. I mean, that sounds like something that'll work.
7-Eleven coffee, no, they are not a sponsor. Tony just keeps.
I like
drinking
the
their coffee.
7-Eleven coffee. I bounced from racetrack to 7-Eleven to Starbucks. It's just like
Let's see.
I get bored with one and I go to the next.
Let's see. The Dust just a slick looking car. That in the E-body. Eddie Price, Uncle Tony, I started my Slant 6 Duster today for the first time in 8 years after being rebuilt. And for some reason, it's a wide open throttle. None of the linkages are stuck or anything. Any ideas?
What is it?
He started his Slant 6 Duster today for the first time in 8 years
Okay.
after being rebuilt. And
Yeah.
for some reason, it's a wide open throttle. None of the linkages are stuck or anything. Any ideas?
Yeah, you've got it. Oh, wait, it's a wide open throttle. That doesn't make any sense. I mean, you look down the carburetor, are the blades actually closed? I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
Let's see. Andy is a Mopar guy at heart, Unfinished Project says.
He is.
Andy says, yeah, that's right.
He is. By the way, that no shirt thing. So where that came from was one of my childhood idols was Wild Willie Borsch, and he lost the Revell contract. He had a Revell sponsorship. He lost the Revell contract or the sponsorship because he refused to wear their shirt. They set them up for a shoot. Revell was doing the model of the funny car, right?
So, I know the picture you're talking about.
Yeah, where he's got no shirt on, right?
Yeah.
So they were setting up to do a shoot for the model, for the box that the model came in, and so this started with they wanted him to run a Dodge body on the car. They wanted to run a Charger body on the car, and I guess that's because they had the Gene Snow model and the Hawaiian model. All of these cars already had a Charger body.
May I clarify that you're rolling cigarettes?
I rolled a cigarette. I rolled a cigarette.
Sent you $2 saying, what are you rolling?
Yes.
Cigarettes.
So they insisted he run a Dodge Charger body. So he says, well, fine. If you're going to make me run a Dodge body, I'm going to run a Chevy engine. So he had a big block Chevy powered. And this is a guy who ran nothing but Chryslers. You know, when he was doing the fuel altered, he run early Chryslers. So they insisted he use a Dodge Charger body on the car, and so he put a big block Chevy in it. This was his line of reasoning. He's like rebellious to the end. Then they set up to do a photo shoot for the model box, and they wanted him to wear a Revell shirt. And he refused to wear any shirt at all.
He's like half naked.
So he's just half naked on the cover of the magazine, on the cover of the model box, and that's where that came from. And I was like, I respected that guy because, like, you know what? You can't buy me. You know? Yeah, you want to give me money to put your logo on the car? That's awesome, but you cannot buy you can't buy me, right? And that was. As I got older, I was like, that stuck with me. You know what I mean? I was like, this is important. This guy made a statement, right? So I refused to wear any sort of crew shirt or logo shirt or anything like that.
And that's the story, and you're sticking to it.
And that's the story, and I'm sticking to it.
Let's see. Tony, you wear your own merch.
It's different. It's mine.
Right. It doesn't. I mean, it has a good saying on it, right?
Yeah.
Builds anything, race everything.
Right. I wear DD shirts a lot. I wear lots of people send me shirts, and I'll wear their shirts, but they're not paying me.
Right. Yeah, you're not taking
Right, they're not
advantage.
paying me. These are my friends, and these are, or it's a shirt that I like, and so I'll wear it. I'll wear an STP shirt, but STP isn't paying me. There's a big difference.
Right. Yeah, you buy everything.
Right.
I was in O'Reilly's and I'm like, I need some things and I pay full price just like everybody else.
Yeah. Now, it's not to say I wouldn't take money. Like if a company wanted to put it, and they agreed with the company, I like their product, and they wanted to put a banner up in the shop. Great. We can work something out. We'll do that. But I won't talk a product. I'll never. I don't care how much they offer. I don't care who they are. I will never talk an advertisement. Right. It's like it just ain't
Other
gonna
people
happen.
do. Other
Lots of people do. I'm
Right.
not going to judge anybody
Right.
because they do advertisements, but the way I see it is you're watching YouTube, okay? So you clicked on a video and there were ads there, okay? That's it. That's enough. You shouldn't be subjected to any more ads than what YouTube already put in there. If you have let's say you go with an ad blocker or whatever, doesn't matter. We get paid because there's a fund that pays for. So let's say there's you click on a thing that says block ads and you pay like an $11.99,
Or
whatever
you
the hell
can
it
like
is.
subscribe.
What's that?
Like there's like a subscription thing that you pay for all the ads separately, so you don't have to get any ads in your videos.
Right, right. So the YouTube has a fund set up so that people
Right.
who opt to go that way, we get they divide that up and we get paid that way. So it doesn't make any difference. But I feel that that's as much advertisement as anybody should be subjected to watching a video. You don't watch a video for me to talk about the new A&W root beer that has less fumajobin or whatever it happens to be, right? Now, you clicked on one of my videos to see about cars, to learn about cars, talk about cars, right? And that's what you're going to get.
I think that way too. You can say whatever you want.
And
If
I
you
can
don't
say
like
whatever I want.
something,
I'm
you're
not
gonna
beholden
say
to
that you're
anybody.
not gonna like it.
Right.
And if you do like something, you really mean that you actually do like it.
Hmm.
See, but I like Fuma jobbing. Right on UT. Scotty Kilmer is the same way, who will not promote a product for money.
Yeah.
A&W, no, they're not paying us. Let's see. Tony, would you portray a drag racer on TV?
No. No, I wouldn't.
Let's see. Tony, when I check my monetization metrics, I always notice the CPM rate changing. It does that.
Constantly.
You
The
have-
CPM rate
yeah.
is always changing.
Every day it's different.
Yeah. On every video, it's different.
Yeah. For no reason sometimes.
It dives. It goes, God. So in like October, November, the early part of December, you're riding high, baby. I mean, like
Yes.
$25, $30 CPMs. And it's just like, look at the piles of cash that are just rolling in. And then just
You
as soon as
pay
you
for
get
it
used
January.
to that, January comes. And it goes from like $30 to like $3. And you're like,
How are we going to pay for everything? We have to use that money from December.
the first year or two that you do YouTube, that will really throw you off, bro.
Yeah.
I'll tell you. But then you get used to it, It's just like views. You'll get, it's the algorithms that do this. YouTube will hold you in a range, okay? They'll keep you, like, I don't know how they do it, but they do it. And they'll keep you in a range, like, no matter what video you put out, no matter what the title or the thumbnail or anything like that is. You watch your analytics, and it'll go like this, right? And then go boop, like that, and just flatline. And then a month will go by, and they'll release it again, and then it'll go like this, and then they pull it away, and then it goes like this. They mess with you, okay? They keep you.
YouTube is a cool master sometimes.
I'm telling you.
Joe Brennan sent you $5.
Thank you, Joe.
Nice job racing, Tony, and thank you for always sticking to your principles.
Thank you. I appreciate you recognizing that.
Let's see. Andy, you seem like a great guy. Looking forward to Casper progression.
Andy is going to get Casper tuned up, and I am going to get Bottle Rocket tuned up, and then we're going to rematch when both cars are running to their potential.
Right.
That is going to be a real race. That'll be a real race.
You know what I really like? I like the fact that, like, our viewers, like our hardcore viewers, the ones that comment on anything, never commented one negative thing about Andy. They
No.
never said not
Yes.
a single nasty thing about Andy, like the whole pre-race of any of this. Like
Hmm.
they never like attacked him or anything like
Yep.
that.
And I keep saying,
And our viewers are like just the best.
looking at the comments of that video is like, like just they credit Andy, the great run, he's like, so yeah,
Andy is one of us. Yep.
yep.
Real punks aren't posers. Got it? Simple. Why would we? Andy is a nice cat. Yeah, well, we were talking about the trolls before. But Tony is one of a kind. Don't change, brother. You and Andy are awesome. Andy may have lost the race, but his truck still ran pretty good.
It ran great. Andy was chasing me down, and I'm telling you, he lost the race in the staging lanes. He lost that race in the staging lanes.
Andy's the real deal. Good luck getting anything to stick. I don't know. I don't know what that means. Good luck getting anything to stick. Were we trying to get stuff to stick to Andy? I'm so confused.
I gotta make pee pee in the bowl.
Really? Oh.
Can you keep them?
Could you have?
Can you keep them
Did you
going?
have to tell everyone that?
What?
Did you have to tell everyone that?
Well, I need a good reason why I'm disappearing. Look at all the coffee
Hi,
and stuff.
Stain Lincoln.
Hey, Stink Lincoln. I'll be
He
back in a
says
minute,
you
guys.
are right. The one, some other channels, some people are totally disrespectful. Absolutely. I see these things. Great filming at the race. Thank you. I was nervous. I was running everywhere, trying to get the best shots I could. Andy put his money where his mouth was. Don't see anyone else doing that these days. Andy's awesome. I gotta say, I didn't think you stood a chance against 700 horsepower. Well, Andy does have a 12 million pound truck. Andy, you're a damn fine car builder. Let's see. No artichokes. No. I'm kind of busy. I'm not really cooking much. A second camera at the finish line. Yeah, well, Ron had his phone, and our friend Ralph had his phone, and I had my camera, and they set up kind of both in the same location. So we should have had somebody at the finish line, but we didn't. And I forgot, like I put on the GoPro in the car, like I set that up, but then Tony got stuck in the staging lanes. Like they were waiting a really long time, and I had my mind on other things, like the bottle getting cold. So I ran over to see if he needed me to go run to the truck and get the thing to heat the bottle up, and I just completely forgot to turn it on. At least Kathy won't hear baby. I'm done, right? Hey, girls, cut it out. Let's see. Yeah, Dr. Art was recording too. Yeah, but he was focusing on recording Andy. Like he wasn't recording so much really for us. He was like supporting Andy and making sure we didn't cheat.
It got chilly out.
It is chilly. Let's see. They were saying that we needed a camera at the finish line.
Yeah, that was the one thing that was missing. We needed somebody to be right there at the finish line to like shoot the stripe. But
a question for me. Oh, thanks. He's saying I do a good job filming.
she did a fantastic
Do
job.
I have
filming.
any training, formal or on YouTube? No.
5 years of shooting YouTube video.
figured
There's
it
all the
out.
training you need.
I figured out. Andy's camera was showing the finish. Was it? Okay. That's good.
Lily, get out of the garden. Lily, get out of there.
Casper was one fine
Good
looking
girl.
rig.
Yeah, I'm not mad at you.
Do you plan on any collaborations with Steve Maggs in the near future?
Yeah, I got to get together with him. I really do. I want to start get back into like the classic car thing. I think we've gone too far to the drag racing type of thing, and I want to like try to like steer back the other direction. So yeah, absolutely, I got to get a hold of Steve.
You guys are YouTubers, not Diamond P Sports. Remember Diamond P? The guys
Oh,
from
sure.
Diamond P
Yeah.
with the cameras on the starting line. Let's see. If no sponsors, how about a checkered strip down the side just below the belt line?
No, I
Right.
like that car the way it is. I was watching it on the video, right? And it's like, I love how innocent it looks. I love how innocent it looks. Very non, very just totally non, you know what I mean? Like, you'd walk right past it. You would never give it a second look. So I love that about that car.
Let's see. When are we going to see that Corvette? Do you have a Corvette?
I don't have a
I
Corvette.
don't know. I don't know who Chris Greenaway is talking to. Watch Andy's video. His back must be hurting since the missus made him sleep in Casper. Aw. I didn't see
no.
Andy's video yet. We've been busy. Let's see. Now they're talking to Andy. They're asking him questions.
Do we have anything besides talking about Bottle Rocket in this race?
I don't know. No, not really. It's not really not going to be that way. Let's see. The Duster is a slant six powered stock car that Tony painted back in the original UTG shop. Oh, I guess they're asking about the Duster.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's the same color as the lawnmower.
Yeah.
So what made you do that lawnmower video, Tony?
That's my kid's lawnmower.
Yes. They're like, can you fix the lawnmower?
So, it's my kid's lawnmower. You wanted me to fix it for him. He tried.
Yeah,
and,
he's busy. He's like crazy busy.
He's busy. I said, well, just drop it off at the shop. So, and I knew that we were going to be. We like to do April Fool's videos. So we did the one last year with the Mary's Man Cream and all that.
Right.
And so this year we wanted to do an April Fool's video, but we knew we would be busy on April Fool's. So we shot that one and we put it up.
You put it up the day before.
We just put it up the day before.
I love it when there's always a couple of people that are like, what the hell? They're like, what am I watching?
Now he's doing lawnmowers.
Right. Unsubscribe. Some people get mad sometimes. I don't know. I don't know why anybody would get mad over a YouTube video.
Because people are
It
nuts.
doesn't make sense to me, but whatever floats your boat. Let's see.
You want to reach out to them, like
No,
wh-
don't reach
wh-
out to them.
when you're on this side of the thing, right?
Wait, I want to say something.
Sure.
When you first start YouTube, you think you can talk to them. Oh, don't try that.
No, you can't.
Just so anybody knows, like if you have a new YouTube channel and you get some people and you think, oh, I can talk to this person. No, you can't.
You can't. You
So
can't.
just don't even try and do it.
You can't.
Okay,
But
go ahead.
but I want to reach out to them and like tell them, you know, this is just a video.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
this is just a video.
This is really
like,
not important.
yeah,
in
this
life.
is really not important. You have important things that are going on all around you.
Right. You have
You know what I'm
family,
saying?
you have kids, you have
For you to
Your
watch a
work.
video and have like an emotional reaction to the video, you may have
there's
a problem.
something wrong.
You may have a problem. You may need to seek help.
Right.
I'm serious. You know, it's good. Okay, get a kick out of a video.
Right,
That's fine.
yeah, that's normal.
Yeah, we do that. So you
Right.
get a kick out of stuff.
Like today, everybody got a kick out of the video. They enjoyed it.
Right.
Great.
And that's great.
They're not
That's-
like laying in bed thinking about it.
Exactly, right? If you've invested so much of yourself into like what some ding dong on YouTube is doing with a freaking car, you may need help.
And we really encourage you to get it.
We encourage you to get that help.
We want to see you do well.
Yes.
You can heal.
Yes. Yes.
Rhino's laughing. Let's see. Hell, I just put up videos on my Munchkin cat and I get trolls. Terrence Seymour says.
Yeah, it's crazy. They'll troll anything.
Stop it, get help. Michael Jordan. Let's see. They're talking about drinks. Ale 81 is okay soft drink. Laugh out loud, that Michael Jordan clip. I don't know what they're talking about.
I don't think I saw it.
Yeah, I didn't see it either. This is not health advice, Frankie.
This is not mental health. No, this is not mental health
Wait, no.
advice.
Yeah, look it up. Okay, we'll look
Yeah.
that up.
Yeah.
When can we expect UTG self-healing videos? I don't know. When? UTG self-healing?
We should. It's like,
we live in a crazy world.
yeah. If you watch a video and you like the video, put a smile on your face. That's
Right.
great, right? You
Yeah.
got something out of that.
Say that was great.
it's like-
Thanks.
If you don't like a video, well, don't watch the video. Just
Right.
click, oh, I don't like this video. I'll click away. No, I'm going to watch this whole video, and then I'm going to watch every single video this guy does because I don't like it.
Let's do things we don't like. Let's do things that make us mad.
Am I wrong about this? I hate this guy. I'm going to watch every single video he does.
Needless to say, we don't really understand that mentality. But again, whatever floats your boat.
I love it. That's what I love about the trolls.
DD Speech Up. I hate them so much I come visit.
Yeah, we hate you too. That's why you come to visit us.
Yep. Oh my goodness. Was there a battle of the live channels tonight? I don't know.
Is there another live? Who's doing a live?
I don't know.
Let's get them. They're squares.
Right. Yeah. Let's see. We are not worthy. Zappa says. Let's see. These squares, yeah. DD Speed Shop in the house, yes. Oh, John Wilburn has a live right now.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Let's see. A sea of envy and hatred floats their boat. Yeah. Peter Kovacs.
It is the most mind-boggling thing. You normal people who are watching this cannot comprehend what I'm talking about. That's what I mean. It's like,
And if you have a YouTube channel, we feel for you. We really do.
I honestly believe that everybody should have the opportunity to be on this side of the camera.
You can't describe this to people unless they have a YouTube channel.
You just there's nothing that can prepare you. Nothing that can prepare you.
Let's see. People need harder lives. You said it.
Well, they have empty lives.
Yeah.
That's the problem. It's like, and it's not necessarily their. Well, maybe it is their fault, but.
Well, yeah, it's their fault. Let's just call a spade a spade.
They have empty lives, and what I found was because sometimes you get curious, like you want to get into the mind of a troll, like what exactly.
You really
is,
don't.
Well, because it's something that you're confronted with, like on a regular. It's part of it, and you'll go to their channel, and if it's so, most of them you'll find that the channel was established in the last 2 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever it is, right? But some of them you see, okay, the channel was established in 2018, whatever it happens to be. And you look at like who they subscribe to, and they subscribe to hundreds of channels, just hundreds of random crazy, like there's no rhyme or reason to the things that they sub to. But and so you'll go through, like what their subscriptions are. And it's just scroll. There's like hundreds of channels that they sub to. It's like they have no lives. If you spend that much time watching YouTube, you really have a problem. Like
I watch YouTube all the time, and so do you. But like we're busy.
We're busy.
And like we watch for like ideas or just to see like what other YouTubers are doing or our own enjoyment, or I watch tutorials. So it's like I'm always watching YouTube. But I don't think I've ever commented on anybody's video. To be honest.
I have.
You have.
Yeah.
Right, I know you have, but I don't think I ever have. Like I watch tutorials all the time, like editing tutorials or.
Well, if you saw an edit, like let's say you saw a tutorial on whatever it is that you're interested in, and you really got something valuable out of it, you would tend
know
to
why I don't
just want to
comment?
say thank you. You know what I mean? Oh, I really learned a lot from that.
But usually I don't comment because I don't have time to get into a conversation. Does that make sense? Like if
Yeah.
somebody responds to me, I can't ignore them because I'm not an ignoree type of person. But I also don't have time to like go back and forth all day. My mind just can't handle that.
Well, see, that's why I stopped doing Facebook.
Yeah.
Because with Facebook, it's like you feel obligated. Somebody makes a comment, and you feel obligated to answer the comment. And if you answer one comment, you have to answer like all of the comments. And it's just like I just don't have the time. I don't have the time or the you know I just can't do it. So rather I just poof, done. Okay, I'm out of this. I'm out of
Well,
this.
I think Facebook is a place where people go to argue anyway.
Facebook is toxic.
Yeah.
Facebook is toxic.
I like YouTube much better. Let's see. Does nothing special says I drive a truck. It takes me around 2 hours to unload. I watch a lot of YouTube. Yeah, understandable.
No, but that's fine. Like
Right.
I come home from the shop at night, and before I go to bed, I go through YouTube. There's the channels that
I think there's a difference between watching YouTube and stalking people on YouTube.
Yes.
I think that you need to clarify. Like watching YouTube is normal. Stalking people on YouTube is not
stalking.
normal.
I have never in my life deliberately clicked on a video or a person who I didn't like.
Right.
Like in other words, like I'll watch a video from somebody, and if I don't like, if I don't, the dogs. If I don't like the person or I don't like the topic or whatever
You just won't watch it.
I click away.
Right.
Like because there's a filter in my head that says I don't like this, so
Right.
I'll not subject myself to it,
Right.
and then I'll go looking for something that I like.
Something you enjoy that makes you happy.
But what the trolls do is they find something they don't like, and they watch it and watch it and watch it and watch it, and it's like, can't you find something you like? You know, great, you don't like me. That's awesome.
Find someone you like.
Then I now go find something that you do like. But no, they
There
don't.
has
They
to be
stay.
another YouTuber that you enjoy somewhere.
It's
right?
crazy. It's just the craziest thing.
Big fan of Hunter Dickinson Wolverines. I have no idea what that means. Let's see. Lance says, I work with a guy like you. He would build an engine while smoking and let the ash fall in the block.
Sure, why not? It ain't gonna hurt anything.
Sarah says, boss, you have to watch it and then let them know you hated it. It's science.
You know, I knew there was something to it, and I knew you would find it.
So what about those Predator carburetors?
I never tried one.
It's
And
funny.
just because I've talked about this before, I worked for the guy Dale Barlett. I worked on his fuel funny car for a year, and literally, quite literally, okay, he owned Predator carburetors, and the shop, right, about a third of the shop, the floor space of the shop was dedicated to the funny car, and the rest of the shop was all Predator carburetors. So for like a year, twice a week, 3 times a week, for like maybe 7-8 hours, you know, like a stretch, like a night we would go out there. I was surrounded by Predator carburetors being assembled and machined and all of the bits and pieces, and I never had anything to do with it at all, because during that period of my life, the only thing I knew about, the only thing I cared about was nitromethane. That was it. So the funny car was my whole trip, and I never bothered paying any attention to the carburetor stuff.
Okay, so we're almost done, you know.
Are we?
Yeah, it's almost 9 o'clock.
That was fast.
9 minutes. 9 minutes.
Okay, 9 minutes to go.
9 minutes to go. Let's see.
Think we could piss somebody off in the next 9 minutes?
I'm sure we can.
All right, what can we do?
I don't know. I don't know.
We should do a video. We should do like our version of like an ASMR video, just pissing people off, doing things that will piss people off.
Our regular videos make people mad.
Yeah,
so I don't think we have to do anything.
Really fire them up.
Like what? What are we going to do?
I don't know. I'll think about it.
Okay. Tony's smoking cigarettes.
It's a cigarette. I'm rolling a cigarette. This is tobacco.
You guys are awesome. Sometimes you crack me up in the comments.
We genuinely do appreciate
Yeah,
you guys.
absolutely. I can feel his seething hatred.
Oh, you can smell it. It's great.
Let's see. Let's see. Zero says, might jinx it, but lots of folks here, new ones, and so far no timeouts. I know. We have like the best viewers.
We do.
We
We
really
really
do.
do. We have a great community.
UTG looked wild and loose with Bottle Rocket, Papillon Cycle says.
Wild?
Wild and loose. Good show today. Thanks, Steve B
I will
says.
tell you this. I have never in my life worked so hard to go so slow. It's
Yes.
like, it's crazy.
Well, that one guy on Facebook keeps asking why Bottle Rocket is so slow. They wanted to know if you had the emergency brake on.
Why do we not? To put the kind of time
No, I know.
and what's the word I'm looking for? It's not time. It's not like I flogged on the car. It's like um, paid so much attention. So it's like going over the car
Right.
and getting set up to do this whole thing. And right, there was a lot of just check this, check that, make sure you check this, make sure you check that, do this, and it's like it turned out to be a lot of work, and it's like to go like, what I mean, really, what was that like? Slow cars. I mean, these are slow cars we're talking about here.
Hmm. But most people don't do that with a 318. You know, put it in a B body and then go race it.
No, no,
So
but that's the
why
whole
you
point.
have to, right, that's the whole point. That's why you have to check everything.
Bottle Rocket. So you got to understand about Bottle Rocket. Bottle Rocket is not about 318s. It's not about B bodies. It's not about Mopars. It's not about me. Bottle Rocket is about 305 and 307 Chevys. It's about 289 and 302 Fords, right? It's about Oldsmobile 307s. It's about AMC 304s. It's about all of the throwaway engines that people are just like, yeah, right? And all of the cars, right? That people are like, oh no, that's got too many doors, or that's just not cool, or that's just not, okay. Bottle Rocket is about those things, right? It's not about oh, look what I can do with a Mopar. No, right? Or 318.
You should probably do a whole video about that.
I probably should. And
Probably
and
should.
I in my mind it's like it's kind of self-explanatory.
Yeah, but we have a lot of new people from the time that you started building that car, where you were talking
Well,
about
that's
that
true.
more.
That's true.
So you really don't talk about that now, and you may need to do a video addressing that again. I
Yeah.
think that would probably be a good idea. The whole purpose of Bottle Rocket
The purpose
and
of
what the
Bottle
idea
Rocket is
behind
to
it was.
inspire people who don't have the cool thing. They don't have, the trick of the week or anything like that. It's, all I got is this four-door, family sedan, and all I got is this junky motor that nobody cares about. Well, Bottle Rocket is about what you can do with the stuff that nobody wants. That's literally 100%. That is the purpose of that car. It's why it exists.
Yeah. Let's see. Is this the first time Bottle Rocket went down a track with nothing breaking?
No, no. When we ran it, we made that one run in October. Um, I know there were others where there were no problems with it. Yeah, well, yeah, there was the one run we had some clutch slippage, had a lot of clutch slippage. Um, it's had like three runs where there were no breakage. There was no breakage at the track. I've run that car up and down the road. I can't tell you how many times, and I never had a problem. The problem comes when you bring it to the track and you stick it to the track.
Yeah, that was happening a lot.
Yeah,
Like it was fine on the street, and then as soon
exactly.
as we would take it to the track, I think it was hooking really hard, and it was just breaking stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see. So what you're saying is Bottle Rock is the red-headed stepkid.
Yeah, exactly. It's the thing that nobody wants.
I can see that maybe it's not interesting to a lot of people because you have to like kind of be smart to be interested in that. like our viewers are. Like you kind of have to be a nerd a little bit
Yeah.
to be interested in that type of a thing.
Bottle rocket is about I cannot afford a set of wheels. Or you know what I'm saying? It's like I I can't have the fancy freaking wheels. Bottle Rocket has stock steel wheels on it. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's the purpose of the car. That's you know what I mean. It's just to show you. Look, you can take a bunch of junk, and you are not going to be the fastest guy at the track. And you know what? Nobody will ever be the fastest guy at the track. It's that simple.
There's always somebody faster.
There's always somebody faster. There's always somebody who's going to outspend you,
Hmm.
right? It's just it's limitless. Uh, I knew the fastest guy at the track, Slam and Sammy Miller, right? This literally, I mean, look him up. The quickest accelerating human on Earth, right? I knew Sammy, and we weren't best friends or anything like that, but we knew each other. It was like we were in the same basic circles. I was a kid. He was like far advanced, but I mean, as far as I know, nobody has ever gone quicker or faster, you know, on land, sea, and air than Sammy Miller has. So no matter what you do, there's going to be somebody faster than you. No matter what you do, there's going to be somebody who has a better paint job, that has a bigger engine, a better engine, whatever it is. It doesn't matter. You're always going to get topped by the bankroll. Our channel is about having fun with what you have, right? Don't take this stuff so freaking seriously. You know what I mean? It's nothing. Hot rods are about fun. This should be about fun. It should be about challenging yourself to make something better, okay, within whatever resources you have. Because I am telling you right now, you will get so much more satisfaction out of making a small modification to your car that you've done with your own two hands and see an actual difference where wow, it goes a tenth of a second quicker, or it goes 2 miles an hour faster, whatever it is, because I filed this down and I bent this over, and wow, look at how the car runs now. Trust me when I tell you, right? You will get more satisfaction out of that than somebody says, well, I'm going to spend 80 grand on this motor, and I'm going to spend 60 grand on that transmission, and I'm going to spend 120,000 on that chassis, and I'm going to go whatever it is. Trust me when I tell you, that person is not going to have the same level of satisfaction. Satisfaction is the important thing here. Satisfaction is the fun part of it. Then you will have bypassing the governor on your freaking mini bike and picking up 10 miles an hour, right? The satisfaction is greater, and you may not, if you're just coming up and you haven't like done all of these different things, you may not understand that. But as somebody who's come up and done all of those things and then put it all behind them, I could tell you from experience, right? The level of satisfaction you get by making a slow thing a little faster is much more so than making a fast thing faster. It just doesn't. Trust me on that. You guys just trust me on that. Does that make sense, or was I just babbling?
No, I mean it makes sense to me. It's it's how you view things. You know, I'm sure that there are some trolls that probably have the opposite view of that, which is why they're trolls.
But
Of
their
the channel.
ego invested.
Right? Yeah,
Their ego invested.
and they put a lot of money into whatever they've bought, so they don't want to see any junk going down the track with any sort of enthusiasm.
So I'm gonna leave you guys one like a psychological concept, okay, for yourself, right? If you want to be successful with something, and it doesn't really matter what it is, and I know this is gonna sound like it doesn't make sense. It's gonna sound like a contradiction, but it's not, okay? You have to divorce yourself from the outcome, okay? Like in other words, you cannot put any value on the outcome. So if you're gonna, let's say you're gonna, okay, like for instance, you're gonna race Andy, right? Now, obviously, if I'm gonna race, I want to win, okay? But I don't have any value on that win, all right? So in other words, like we're anticipating that win. So it's like, I'm gonna go to the track. I'm gonna do the best that I can do. I'm gonna run my race. I'm gonna set my car up the way I think it should be set up, and I'm going to sit in my car, in my lane, and I'm going to watch the tree, and I'm going to focus on this, right? And I don't care what the outcome is going to be. I only care that I do the best job that I can do. Okay? Like, so in other words, I'm not going to be a better person if I beat somebody, and I'm not going to be a worse person if I lose to that person. I'm going to divorce myself from the outcome of this and just try my best to do my best. Does that make any sense?
And then whatever the outcome is,
And
you
then
just
whatever the
move
outcome
on
is,
from that outcome.
right, you're just satisfied with that outcome, right? That's how you have fun. When you invest your ego into the result, well, that's when you
Or
go
your
down this.
worth.
What's that?
Your worth.
Right, your worth.
Yeah.
When you invest your value and your ego into the result, then that's when you no longer have fun. That's when you start chasing the bottomless pit. You know what I mean? And I see this. It's the
And
common
then nothing
thing
is ever enough.
because nothing is ever enough.
Yep.
So, and that's a very common drag racer mentality, which is something, one of the reasons why, like, I turned away from the sport years ago, because I realized this is a bottomless pit. These people have a hole in their ego they're trying to fill with the stacker, and you know what I mean, and all of these other things, and it's just like, no, that's not fun. You've gone down the rabbit hole, the bottomless pit of I have to satisfy this thing, okay? And they don't have fun. They're not having fun. I go to the track and I see guys with just their cars, and all they're trying to do is their own personal best. You know what I mean? So they've run a 675. You know, eighth mile. They've run a 675, and they're trying for that 670 or the 669. You know what I mean? And those are the guys who are having the most fun. They're swapping jets, and they're messing with timing, and they're playing with the tire pressure, and it's like they're just trying to have fun. They're not trying to be the king of the drag strip, because you will never be the king of the drag strip. Somebody will always come and outspend you and become the king of the drag strip. So if you want to have fun with this stuff, divorce yourself from the outcome. Don't care if you win or lose. Just go out there and do the best that you can do with what you have, and try to always increase your own personal best. You know, if you ran a 669, well, go for that 668. And that's where the fun is. That's where the satisfaction is. I hope that makes sense. I hope that makes sense.
I think it makes sense. So, yeah. You should bracket race with your 94 Subaru. I
Yes.
bracket raced Mrs. Landy, and it was like the most fun. And it's like the slowest car ever.
The best drag race I've ever seen, okay? I see look, I'm literally, okay, I've witnessed tens of thousands of drag strips, drag races. You remember the Garlits blowover? Okay, I'm
Yeah,
on the
we were
starting
there
line. I
on
was
the
on the
starting
starting
line.
line photographing that for whatever magazine I was working for to them. I have seen anything and everything you can imagine go down the drag strip 5 feet away from me, okay? The best drag race I ever saw was Kathy in Mrs. Landy, or Slant 6, or 170 Slant 6 64 Dart, racing an Olds Bravada, okay? It was an Olds Bravada on an eighth mile track. And they were dialed in. Mrs. Landy was dialed in at a 23-second eighth mile. Could you imagine? Wrap your head around this now, okay? She dialed in at 23 seconds.
That's me punching it and holding it on
Yeah,
the floor.
a 23-second eighth mile. And the Bravada was dialed in at like 18 seconds, eighth mile. Okay, because we're talking about the slowest. That was the most exciting drag race I have ever seen in my life. I was on the edge of like.
We were
I was,
close, like we were right there. We were neck and neck.
I'm in the stands. I'm watching, right, and like Kathy goes. It's like the car's going. And I'm like, go, go, go. And then the Bravada, it starts going. And I'm watching them go past like this. And the Bravada is starting to eat up the lead, right? And by the time they got to about half track, about 300 feet out, which took a long time, I'm standing up and I'm watching them get to the. I'm like, oh, go, go.
But actually, I went too fast.
You did, you
Yeah, I
broke
broke
out.
out.
It was my fault.
It's okay.
I said, the air is getting a little better. I bet you should run. So we changed the dial in from like 23 seconds to like 22:75.
Yeah. Funny. Yeah, go race your Subaru. It's funny. So, yeah, I think we're we're close to 9 o'clock now. I think
Are we?
It's 9:07.
Oh, geez, we went over.
Yeah, over by 7 minutes.
All right. Well, we go for another minute or two if there's any. You want to just clean up?
Let's see.
Let's do
Thumper
the cleanup
says,
comments.
Kathy, please be careful going that fast. We don't want to see you get hurt.
It was
No, I didn't want to
riveting.
get hurt either.
It was riveting. I'm telling you, it was riveting.
I'm very competitive, so it was fun for me. I don't care like how fast we were going. I just wanted to win. Let's see. Zero says, thanks everyone. Great crowd tonight. Absolutely. Thank you, Zero.
Listen, guys. I went through the comments. I read through those comments. I sincerely thank all of you, and on Andy's behalf, I thank you for him too, because everybody was fair. Everybody was cool. Um, I genuinely appreciated all of the good mojo. And so did Kathy,
Oh,
and
absolutely.
so
Yeah.
does Andy and everybody
Big
else.
smile
Everybody was
on my
involved.
face from some of you guys.
Yeah, you guys were awesome. Thank you so. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much. Let's see. Just thinking about an Oldsmobile Bravada sounds hilarious.
You had to be there. You had to be there.
CJ says goodnight, very inspiring. UT.
Thank you.
Let's see. No, thank you, Tony, for being you. Aw.
Thank you.
Let's see. Olds Power. Congrats, Uncle Tony, poor boy says.
Thank you.
BB Dodge. Night, guys. See you at the soup kitchen. Don't forget to eat your meat or you won't get any pudding.
That's right. So tomorrow I got to fix the pinion. The truck started making a racket on the way home, so I think it loosened up the pinion nut. I may do a video on that. I may do a video on rear end noises and how to diagnose them and everything. And I got to get back on the 4.0 Jeep engine. So that tomorrow I'm gonna do one of the two. Either we're gonna put the crank in the 4.0, or we're gonna fix the pinion bearing, or whatever it is that's wrong with the truck. So we gotta get away from this bottle rocket stuff now and get back to our regularly scheduled programming.
Yeah.
And I got the converter coming for Slag Hammer, so we got to swap that converter out, take that car out, and see what that's going to do.
Yeah. All right, check your rear end. No one's gonna do it for you. 672 Galaxy says.
That's right.
Bottle rocket now defines you, Uncle Tony. I don't think so.
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so.
All right. No word on Ari yet? No? He's not here.
Ari didn't show up today?
No. I don't know. Is Andy okay? Yeah. Andy was in the comments. He's fine.
Yeah.
Charlie Roma says, Uncle Tony and Uncle Kathy, life lessons on UTG Live. Thank you and good night.
Good night, Charlie.
Well, you definitely made us proud.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
You made me proud.
Yeah, for sure.
What's that saying? If a tree falls in the woods and nobody hears it, right. It doesn't make any sound. Well, it's the same thing with stuff like this.
Right. Good night, Joe Brennan. Good race, Tony. Awesome race. Cheers. Made my day. Thank you, guys.
Thank you all. All right, so Ari wasn't around tonight, but so I guess he's not going to go on tonight. So usually he does a show after hours. Check him, Ari DeBernia. Maybe he'll go on sometime later on. Zero and Fubar are fantastic mods. Thank you guys so much. Greatly appreciate it. Everybody contributed super chat. Thank you. It goes to pay the bills, and we always appreciate it. And everybody contributed just with your presence and your conversation. We appreciate you equally. So that's it for now. We'll see you next Sunday night.
Sunday, unless you decide to do live in between somehow.
You know, I like doing impromptu lives sometimes.
Okay.
So we may, but if not, we'll see you next Sunday night. And thank you for everything.
Yeah, we really appreciate it.
We do appreciate it. So, good night, all.
Good night, everybody.